So 12 weeks since I had my rotator cuff surgery. I had full thickness tears of both the infraspinatus and the supraspinatus. Both of those got repaired, and I also had a procedure called bicep tenodesis, where they basically come through here, they cut the long head of my bicep tendon off. One of the goals was putting my hand over my head when you're laying down flat on your back. From here over is the 90-degree angle, roughly, and then try to bring it over my head. And I know when I was in the doctor's office, he told me I was probably about 110, 115 degrees before that thing just starts giving a lot of resistance. And then come back and set it down. Now, 6 weeks, I can reach back much further. Now, part of what I've been doing to try to increase that is one tennis ball, and the tennis ball I use to either get on the posterior delt, my rear delt, and I do a little what I would call a little bit of massage work or rolling out, trying to get on the musculature. I can get it back on my infraspinatus and try to roll on that. Yes, sometimes you have to go really gently because the pressure, like a lacrosse ball or a baseball or a golf ball, that would be too hard. A tennis ball has got a little more give to it, and it's about perfect for me right now. I can also get that tennis ball on my traps, my mid traps, trapezius muscles, and then work between the scapula and the spine on the rhomboid muscles. And I basically try to move back and forth and loosen up whatever is tight, the dowel rod. So same exact movement, except I'm holding on to the dowel rod. I can now actually use my arm to even lift the dowel rod, where before that would have been way too tough. But now, holding the dowel rod, I'm going to reach back and I get into that point, and now I can use this hand to actually apply pressure. So that's going to further try to increase the stretch. Reach back. If I need more pressure, I can use the dowel rod to increase the range of motion on the stretch. Another thing I'll do, which wasn't necessarily recommended, but I've done it, which is I let my arm come across this way. I can support my hand and I can reach because I can feel all that coming through this posterior aspect, and just allows me to stretch. Different angles, trying to stretch out. I can take the ball and I can either start doing circular motions on the tissue to try to break up any adhesions. The idea is I roll that ball in every direction, front and back, up and down, side to side, circles. I can also use my thumb to press in on little pressure points or tender spots. At best, when I first started, I might have been to there. And that was kind of like that 110, 115. And then as the weeks went by, I got better and better. And now, week 7, this is about as far as I can reach on my own. If I take my hand and grab, I can pull my arm back more so. Where am I at? 9.5 weeks. In reaching. Again, the broom only weighs about 1 pound. And at the gym, I started off with a 2-pound dumbbell. Here at home, I have a 3-pound dumbbell. I don't just start with that. I had to work up to it. But the idea would be from here, just passively letting gravity and the weight of that dumbbell pull my arm towards the floor. Basically working in a bunch of different angles. I might work more out towards my side, doing both arms at the same time, inching it up a little bit, inching up a little higher. And this starts to get to the point where I start to feel pain. So right here, I'm getting all sorts of little signals coming through in here. And even on my backside, like that angle is hard enough being that far down, my hand is on the floor. And then I don't want to, in this particular case where I have this much, maybe my pain stimulus on 1 to 10 scale is maybe like a 4 or 5. That's pretty enough, like as far as intense. I'm not going to pick the dumbbell up. I'm going to let it go. And that way that releases the pressure. Another angle is internal, external rotation. This would be internal. This would be external. And again, tucking my elbows in. This is external rotation. Just letting the weight of the dumbbells straighten my arms out. Coming over, trying to have my arm nice and long. I know it tends to bend a little bit, but I'm reaching out, trying to stretch through all through this area. If I want to use this arm for more resistance, I can do this. And yes, I feel that. Now, I can touch the floor. I'm probably a little bit bent in the elbow, but I can touch the floor unassisted. And then try to get my arm straight and tucked to my ear, and then just try to relax and let that arm go to the floor. Because now I've got 3 pounds in my hand, 3 pounds at my elbows, and I take my hand and reach back and touch the floor. And yes, it's improved. It's not perfect. I'm not all the way 100%. But this is 12 weeks, and as I've shown on the other videos, I'm progressing. Also, I would come across, kind of like turn my head to the side and come across, because that really starts to stretch in here. I would also go and turn to my side and let that stretch out, trying to reach. If I needed extra weight, I put the other dumbbell on, and then just let that slowly come down. I'm going to touch the floor, and there it is. I can touch the floor. Now, something else I've been working on are T positions, because this kind of resembles like a T. You go into like 90 degrees at your elbows. External rotation, internal. I take my hand, turn to my side. Before, remember when I was showing you in the other videos, early on I couldn't get my hand to my hip. Well, then I got that. Now the question is, can I get my hand behind? So what I've been able to do is, this again is the arm I had the surgery on. Reach behind me to what's comfortable. I mean, before I could barely get it to there. So now I can get it, reach, and then what I'll do is I'll slowly turn over on it, and this, using my body weight, is what allows this shoulder to internally rotate. And then I just sit here and hold this stretch. And this is just what I can do while I'm at home, if I'm, maybe watching a TV program. And I can sit there and hold it. If I feel like my elbow's having a hard time, I can take the dumbbell, sit it down on my elbow, turn this way, and that'll really help stretch through this area in here, kind of like my pec area or my anterior delt, front shoulder. And then when that feels good enough, I'll go back. I can let this dumbbell, use the dumbbell to add a little bit of weight. And I don't recommend this on any of the weeks before 6 weeks. I'm on 12 weeks. I started doing this probably, I've been working on it, but definitely since week 10, 11, and now here it is week 12. And then roll that out of the way, put my hand as far up as I can, and then turn over, and then just let my body weight sit in that position. Reach over this way. That kind of amplifies the stretch. But that's just a kind of a quick little recap. 12 weeks post-rotator cuff surgery. The shoulder is definitely improving, getting greater range of motion. As far as even picking my hands up, for 6 months, I could not take this hand and I could not put it above my head. I mean, early on, I couldn't even get it to my chin. Remember, I couldn't even floss my teeth. So it's a fantastic feeling to be able to pick your hand up, and it's not 100%. I can go out and reach, bring my hands together, put my elbows to my ears, kind of like what they say, like in swimming for like a diver or whatnot. Hands are in. If my arms are in a neutral position, reaching up. But hey, I'm happy as can be getting my arm over my head.